Welcome. Now it's better. I'm Matthias Schmid. I'm the CDO of our Center of Competence 3D Printing at Daimler Buses. And I'm really happy to have the chance here to show you some insights on the highest part availability at a point of sale or the point of production that we do at Daimler Truck. I'm sure every one of you knows Daimler Truck, or at least one of our brands and products, because we always say our products are for those who keep the world moving. They move groceries, they move drugs, they move clothes, they bring people to work or even to school. So it's elementary that these cars, these vehicles are running and are not standing still in the garage due to a lack of spare parts, for example. Since 2021, we're an independent stock-listed company. We carved out from the Formula Daimler AG, but we are a global acting company. And as a global acting company, since the whole world, since 2019, we faced a lot of crises which had huge impact on supply chains and on every part of our daily life. Just to name some of them, I think you can read it on your enlarged lead times, global lack of production capacities, and all those things made clear to us that our supply chains have to change. They have to become more resilient. We have to become more independent from single suppliers, and this to avoid further disruptions of our supply chains. Having this in mind, we started to analyze our supply chains. Hereby, in our opinion, the most important thing to consider are the roles and the several stakeholders have in the supply chain. Some roles or functions can occur multiple times in the supply chain, but the most stakeholders only occur once. And then we asked ourselves if we could reduce the involved parties to the absolute required minimum, which led us to the question, what is the required minimum? On the left table, you can see some classical supply chain models, and in the right, the green one, you see some futuristic digital supply chains, where we say, in the best case, producer and consumer of the spare part become one, the so-called prosumer. But how do we get to this prosuming model? The answer is quite simple. You have to have in mind that additive manufacturing is a data-driven digital business and part of the supply and value chain. And like Carly Fiorina said, the former HP CEO, everything that can be digitized will be digitized. So just start digitizing your value chain by building a digital value chain. Maybe you think, but how to get it started? And I think in the other panel, in the previous panel, it was also shown it's a similar approach. It's a simple operational method to digitize the value chain that we use. First, you have to find feasible products for AM. After you have them identified, you have to prepare the data, you have to enhance the data. What does that mean? For example, you have to change the wall thickness of spare parts, or in our cases, from the bus's perspective, in the interior section, we have a lot of spare parts that have a skin-like sample on the surface, and this has to be applied in the CAD model. And even our Mercedes-Benz logo, the star, has to be brought in the CAD model for brand protection reasons. And after you have prepared the data, then store this prepared data, because it's AM-specific data, and then make these data available either for the production or for sales. And last but not least, make it a positive business case. What does this look like in real life, in numbers? Just the example of Daimler Buses. From our spare part portfolio of about 320,000 spare parts, we identified 40,000 as AM feasible. Out of that range, we focus on 9,000 parts that we are preparing for our digital warehouse for AM in an ongoing process, and currently we have more than 1,500 parts available at our digital warehouse. After we have our 3D data, the 3 AM enhanced CAD model, we add a so-called digital part report to it with additional information to the referencing printer. This data set is our digital AM twin of the spare part. And once we have our digital AM twin in our digital warehouse, we make them available there for our production sites and for customers via a licensed eShop. And when our customers do a first-time buy of a printing license of a spare part, they download the encrypted CAD file and an encrypted digital part report as well. This empowers our customers to print parts by themselves with relatively small effort. I'm pretty sure some of you are asking, is this really a positive business case? Indeed, yes it is. But it was also mentioned in the previous panels, most companies make the mistake and look only on the cost for the purchasing department. Never compare the cost for the purchasing department solely. Always compare the real cost, because this is the money you or your company is paying for the price. Sorry. And it's not only about the parts price. With switching from physical storing to digital storing, we generated savings in a 7-digit range. We reduced lead times for slow-moving parts to up to 80%. And this is the other side of the coin. It was not all red roses. We had a lot of hurdles, and for example, legal aspects. What about the quality assurance? What about reproducibility? What about the raw materials? Do they have the right one? Can we substitute a material by another one? And I think the most tricky point, also mentioned in some discussions here before, is you have to do a little bit of expectation management. AM will not solve all problems in the supply chain, but it's a key technology to solve some problems of the supply chain. And obviously you cannot come to point-of-sale production overnight. It's not like pushing a button and then you start producing parts at the point of sale. We started way back in 2016 with a project kickoff, and it took us about 6 years to come to the point where we could launch an eShop where customers can buy our licenses. And previous steps, for example, we had to develop the state-of-the-art digital warehouse, and many, many more things were to clarify on the road. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Erst dran als nächstes.
Thank you so much. Excellent timekeeping.